All right, we're joined by Rapids head coach Matt Wells. We'll open up to questions.
Coach, coming off the last win, obviously a big one being your first as head coach,
Yeah.
the first for the home fans of this season. What are you really harping on in training this week to replicate that result this week heading into Galaxy?
Yeah, nothing in particular. It's just our normal process. The same way we sort of debrief and analyse the Seattle game and where we could improve. There was just a lot more of it, and then put that into process this week. As simple as that.
Coach, you talked about last season about his one-on-one matchup with Joseph Paintsill. In fact, that Paintsill gave him the compliment he was the best 1v1 defender he had faced in MLS. What's Reggie looking towards in this game? Have you talked to him about that matchup?
No, we've done our general preparation. So obviously, I don't know the starting team yet. So it depends who's out there. Still in the process of analysing the opponent and then picking the best players possible. So we'll definitely have a plan, but we'll see what that is over the next day.
Have you looked at the past LA Galaxy games and noted anything particular heading into the matchup?
Against us or this season?
Their first
Yeah,
two matches.
yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Watch the two games and the cup games as well. So got a really good grasp of what they are as a team. A very dangerous team, good players, really clear tactical profile, which changes game to game. So we've got to be flexible and ready for them, which we will be.
And obviously there are a lot of attacking players that take up those defense spots, but for them to have all three across the board to be kind of where all their big money players are, what kind of challenge does that present when you know that there's such a potent attack like that?
Yeah, they do have dangerous individuals, but they also have dangerous patterns as well as a team. So you can see really well coached, very clear in their identity and their idea. So part of it is stopping the individuals, but we also have to be at our very best as a team to stop their movements as well. So that's where the focus has been today, and then we'll continue that tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you talked over the first couple of weeks about the difference between the zonal press and the man marking press, but they just have such a fluid kind of in their midfield three, and their shape changes so much. I mean, is that something that your system is just built to kind of adapt to whatever the opponent throws out here? How tough a challenge is that when their team is as fluid as the Galaxy is?
Yeah, I think they're flexible game to game. They generally have sort of one tactical profile per game. So I think the unfortunate thing for me is I won't know until the very first seconds of the game exactly what positional scheme they've gone for. But generally once the game starts, they'll have a clear idea, and we've worked off a couple of different variations this morning. So I'd say we're prepared, but then it's on us to go and execute on the day.
Yeah, and then we saw the set piece turn into a goal. Just obviously you guys prepared for everything, but it seemed like you must have seen something to get that one-on-one matchup with Lucas. Just how valuable is it to have somebody who can be in your ear and who can be seeing what's happening, kind of deploy your tactics on the fly and tell you what approach to go to?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be, I said since I come in, we want to be world class at everything, every facet of the game. That's why obviously I've got the set play expertise here. 2 set play coaches is great for me. So it was an element of our game that was in a good place at the weekend. There's no denying that. But it has to be the same again this weekend. With everything, we just have to go and execute again.
Speaking of designated players, the team has an open DP or 2 open U22 spots. Do you expect reinforcements coming in before the window closes, or are you prepared to stand pat until the summer transfer window?
Yeah, listen, I've sort of said from the start I want reinforcements, and I think we can build depth here. I think there's good competition for places, but we need to improve that and enhance that. So, but I'm also very specific in what I want and what fits the system and the way of playing. So, not easy to find players that are perfect, but hopefully at some point soon we'll have a few more coming through the door for sure.
In the first match, Lexi Manyoma seemed to be a spark plug when he came in. Didn't feature in the second. What are you seeing from Lexi in training that's figuring into his match day minutes?
Yeah, he's trained well, but so have all of the boys. Like I said before, the competition here is what excites me, and the culture that we're building. That no shirt is safe, and everyone has to be on their A game, not just on match day, but in training as well. And we saw that obviously with Alex Harris coming in, earned his opportunity, and then started the game. And I've seen again this week other guys competing for the shirts. I feel like everyone feels like they're close to starting a game, which is the culture I want. So we have to continue that, and Alexis is part of that.
Last week you talked a lot about bravery and courage on the ball, and in some of those moments, and we're about to talk to Lucas, and just being so young.
Yeah.
I mean, does that kind of help him a little bit? Just being like, you know what, I'm learning on the fly too, and does that just kind of help him not be too worried at the moment and being willing to kind of take some of those risks you're talking about?
I don't think it's his age as such. I think it's his personality and just who he is as a person and what he identifies as a player. So obviously one of the reasons we brought him to the organisation is because of his ability with the ball, and he likes to be in those situations that I guess, feel pressurised to many people and maybe to even some of the fans feels risky. But we have a really clear process of what we're doing. It's not perfect, but we're certainly making good steps towards that. So it's just him understanding the pitches in the moment. And the good news is he's got unbelievable personality to try again. So he's a big player for us for sure.